Technique is pretty basic. A manual press and a couple of U-bolts clamp them down inside the yokes. Once they're pieced together, it's time to pick the tube materials.
What we use here is 1020 DOM tubing, and that's a drawn-over mandrel. So the tubing is a lot straighter, and you get a lot better drive shaft that way.
Take it to the cold saw, and we cut it at the cold saw. We take it over to the blue machine to square up the ends and to flash all the burrs off of them. So that way, when you press the tubings together, you got a nice square end. From there, I take them to the hot tank, and I let them sit in the hot tank for about 10-15 minutes. And then I rinse them off, and from there, get ready to press them together. You go ahead and put that end down for now. We're going to go ahead and start with the short one. We went to the front half of the drive shaft, and once I get the spline end pushed together, we go to the transmission end with the transmission yoke and tube yoke, and once it's all pressed together and we double check the measurements, then I get ready to straighten it and get it ready for welding. The reason we put tack welds there is to keep it from moving as we put heat to it.
When the shaft is finally straight, a fixed MIG welder is brought to the lathe, and a consistent bead of weld is laid on each end. Not too thick, not too thin.
Once we got the two pieces welded up on their own, we have to go back to the press, and we have to press on the slip yoke that's going to mate the two shafts together at the splines. And that assembly goes there right behind the carrier bearing, and once that's pressed on the rear shaft, you mate the two shafts together and you get it ready to put it back in the balancer, and you get ready to straighten it again.
Straightening and balancing are essentially the same thing. The objective is to spin without a warble. Sometimes a little heat is all that's needed, other times a steel washer brings it in line.
If you don't balance the drive shaft, it will create a major problem. That drive shaft will come out of your vehicle and it will make a mess.
Once I feel the shaft perfectly smooth, I know it's ready to be tacked on. It's ready to be a finished assembly. From there, we loosened it up and we took it back to the bench and got ready to take the fixtures off and ready for paint.
So what are these two? This is the one we just did?
This is the one we just did. Yeah. This is the stock one, stock replacement.
Okay.
OEM setup.
All right, well, right now I can see this one is shorter than this one.
The 400 transmission was longer, so we had to compensate in the measurement for that. We manufacture the telescoping part of it, and what that does, it allows the drive shaft to telescope in and out so that it'll absorb the movement.
The movement in our case will be extensive. A slip yoke is essential for any variable height suspension system.
Thanks, James. You're welcome. I know the guys at American Muscle Cars are going to be excited about getting this shaft.
Coming up.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, you're going to have to notch it, I think.
So first we went to put the new rear valance on, it didn't fit.